today. 20th. It is.
Welcome back to the Stockwell Eldridge Show. I'm Jason Stockwell.
And I'm Dawn Eldridge with Remax Results.
What's the announcement, Dawn?
All right, here's the big announcement. Dawn, I got a message from your beautiful bride, Susan, today.
Oh, you did?
This morning. And she told me that it is your birthday.
Yes.
So when you called me and told me it was your birthday, I already knew, and I pretended like it was no big deal.
I got you a little cake. I went to the bakery, got a little cake for you on my birthday.
Oh, you did not.
Well,
I
guess
did.
what, Dawn? We got you a little something.
Ah, you.
Oh, wow.
Am I blushing? Oh, my gosh.
So in order to see what it is in real life, you go to YouTube, check it out.
Right.
Are you going to open it now, Dawn? Or you're going to wait till later tonight? Oh, you can open it now. Yeah.
Are you sure?
It's a pet boa constrictor. Oh, there it
Okay,
is.
that'll work.
You bet.
It looks good.
Nothing but the best for the best.
It looks delicious.
12 year. Perfect.
There's another thing in there.
Oh, God.
Don't tip it sideways.
And a cake.
Fig.
And a candle.
From
Oh,
Coco
yes.
and Fig.
And I got you a cake. It's out in my truck. I thought,
I thought you were joking. You really did. That's great. And
Yeah,
there's a
no,
little
I
card in
do.
there for you, too, Don.
Well, thank you.
So
You're welcome.
Sweet.
Don is 50 years young and keep it rocking. So happy
Right
birthday,
on.
Don Doty.
Happy
Home Place
birthday.
Inspection.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
Do we sing?
Sure,
don't.
we can.
Yeah, you can if you
we
want.
ready? Are
That's
you,
a bad idea.
are you ready to sing?
Yeah, ready?
Okay, ready? You
Go
gonna sing?
quick.
Okay.
I'll hum.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Don.
Doty.
Happy birthday to you.
Thanks, guys. That's great.
Hey, nice ending.
Thank you. All righty.
Well, hopefully you're not doing anything too crazy as it is today, right now, Thursday, 4/20. So hopefully you're not getting too crazy tonight, Don.
I shouldn't.
If
be.
anybody knows what I'm talking
Well, he might
about,
be with
you
that
probably-
I was
spot.
going to ask,
So-
what does that mean? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you don't know.
Oh, I,
So here we go. We're going to really put the hammer down on Ed Cashmark
You're in the hot seat. Are you ready?
on economic news. So a lot of folks are listening out there. If you're listening out there and you're wondering what's going on, when is the stock market? When's the ball going to drop? When is this thing going to go down? When is something bad going to happen to the stock market? When do I pull out in my investments and get to something stable? When is the real estate market going to go down? Are we in a bubble? I mean, I threw a lot at you there, but I'll let you go, Ed. Explain a little. Introduce yourself again, and then roll with it.
Sure. I'm the everyday economist, and what I do is I spend every day looking at economic data.
Woo!
He's a smart guy.
So if
Very
you want to know what's
smart,
going on in
yeah.
the economy, you go
Smart.
to my website, you will find pretty much anything you want to find, at least in terms of the national economy.
What is your
So,
website address?
My name, edcashmark.com.
Okay.
Or you can just look up the Everyday Economist.
Yes, everyday economist.
Yeah,
Cashmark is
you'll find it out there.
Kashmarek.
Correct. And what I'm seeing right now is, as far as the housing market, we were talking about this before the show, and I'm seeing a lot of similarities, and kind of like what we've been talking about here today, a lot of similarities between today and the previous housing boom.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And if you want to go on my website, there is an actual chart that shows the home price growth of new homes, and it's the trend rate of growth. Are we losing my voice there? A little
No,
bit?
you're good.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just- yeah.
Okay. And it's almost a mirror image of what we saw in the housing boom of
Really?
2006, 7, 8, yeah. And so we're on
Everybody says it's different. That's what I. So
well,
Yeah.
this is price growth, and then it's actually not only looks the same, but they actually peaked at the same. So if you take the 12-month moving average of the year-over-year percent change in prices for new homes, it peaked at about 13 point some odd percent back in 2006, 7, 8, something like that, and now the peak in this cycle was about 13.1%. So almost exact
and now you're talking on pricing.
pricing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The difference this time around is that back then it was a lot of building. This time around we have more building than we have in the recent past, but not nearly as much as we had in the previous boom. And so our home supplies are so extremely low right now, coupled with very low mortgage rates. That's why we have very high prices right now. And so what I'm saying is that if mortgage rates go up, or if home supply goes up, prices will probably come down. If they both go up, prices could probably come down significantly. Now, recently we've seen an actual downtrend again in mortgage rates after the run-up after the election because people are starting to get a little bit more nervous now about what could possibly happen with economic and fiscal policy from the new administration because they came out with all these promises, and after the health care bill failed, everybody's wondering, well, okay.
What else is going to
Right.
fail?
Well, yeah. Are they going to get tax reform done? Are they going to get immigration reform done, and so on and so forth?
Yep.
And so the stock market has really been driven primarily by political waves recently, as opposed to anything going on with companies. Now, earnings have been coming out recently. They've been kind of mixed. So today I think the market is up pretty strongly because some companies had some good earnings, but just the day before or a couple of days ago, it was down because of earnings. So the ups and downs, the big ups and downs comes from the earnings, but the overall trend seems to be being driven by politics right now.
That's for the stock
Yeah,
market.
and but what I also wanted to say is that keep an eye on the Federal Reserve if you can, because the Federal Reserve has come out recently hinting at that they're going to stop or at least slow down their purchases of mortgage-backed securities. And that has really been driving the housing market over the last decade because that's been driving down mortgage rates. And with mortgage rates so low, that's why we have so much demand. If the Federal Reserve starts to pull back or completely stops mortgage-backed securities purchasing and or purchasing treasury bills and bonds, that could really push interest rates higher.
Oh, that'll drive the rates up.
Yeah,
Got
yeah.
it. Okay.
And housing could be dented quite significantly.
Yeah, it'll slow it down for sure. I know and we're still hovering very good rates right now. I've had two buyers. I'm the listing setter helping the seller on transactions. Two buyers this week. On the buyer's agent calls me and says, "We're extending the closing out a week. The buyer switched lenders." This is 3 weeks after the purchase agreement's done. I'm like, did rates go down that I didn't know about? Where they're getting an extra, maybe an eighth or a quarter, because they locked in somewhere else, and now they're pulling from that lender and going with another lender to get a rate. I don't know. It's baffling to me because I'm like, why are they switching lenders midstream and extending the closing? Luckily, both the sellers aren't stuck, and have us, they weren't on that date. I mean, there's little flexibility on their end. But this is from so Ed, good information. We're going to get some more detail from you later.
I told you he was smart.
Very smart. This
I
is
do my best.
this is from your counterpart, Elliot Eisenberg, who's on our show occasionally and actually was here in the Twin Cities for the Builder Expo. He said the same thing. Something similar about the new construction. He's following new construction. Yesterday's March housing data were good. Starts were down 6.8 compared to February, but starts were up 9.2% compared to March of last year. So 1 year compared to last year, they're up 9.2%. And they're 8% up year to date. And single-family starts are up almost 6%. Multifamily starts are still up, surprisingly, 15%. So starts should rise 6% this year, he said, solid. So he thinks new construction is solid. So take that, peel that back, take what Ed said. Here's what it means to you, in my opinion, if you're listening out there for a seller or a buyer. I don't think the supply, Ed said, if the rates go up or supply goes up, I don't see the supply going up dramatically. I don't think a whole windfall of sellers are going to be, okay, we're going to dump our existing home on the market right now. Because the foreclosure market's dry. People are staying or they're waiting to sell because they don't have anywhere to go to, and they're staying in their place longer. So the only thing that could really dampen it is interest rates going up and then slow things down a little bit. Maybe then more supply will come in while it slows down. I don't know. That's my take on it.
Do you think that unemployment, what would happen with unemployment if it raised?
If what would happen with unemployment or what would happen with housing?
Well, if say a lot of people start getting laid off for whatever reason, wouldn't more houses go on the market?
Well, I don't
would say, right.
Well, if people lose their jobs, I guess it depends on if they're short of cash.
Yeah.
If they lose their jobs and need money, they'll either take out a home equity loan or they'll sell their home. More than likely, they would sell their home because nobody wants a home equity loan at the top of the market, or what could be the top of the market. But at the same time, if people lose their jobs, you're going to have less demand for houses. So, I mean, it could be, two different things that you want to be looking at there.
And it's hard to get a home equity line or any loan for that matter if you don't have a job. So
Right.
that would probably increase the supply, I think, and it would help. Hopefully, it's not. You don't see a large number of that happening in the Twin Cities here. I still see people coming into the Twin Cities more, right, Dawn?
Yeah, a lot of people are migrating to the Twin Cities and buying homes, and Apple Valley, Eagan, Edina is a big spot too. Southwest Minneapolis,
Do you see them coming primarily from outstate Minnesota or from other states?
other states.
I see a ton of other
yeah.
states.
Okay.
and
Ton of
other
other
countries
states.
as well.
Okay, because the Minnesota Department of Employment and Economic Development has been actually saying the opposite recently, that they're seeing more people leaving Minnesota.
Well,
So-
probably.
You think the winter's got anything to do with it?
Yeah, I would say maybe as a overall. I think I read something on that too, but I think it's what happens is a lot of it is people that are like we have a lot of clients right now who have been in their home 30, 40 years. They're moving out of state. So when they get to be the 50s, 60s, or 70s retirement age, they'll move to Florida or
Sure.
somewhere warmer. They're sick of the maintenance and all that stuff. But it also said, or so another study said, that when they get elderly, like very old, they come back because we have the best care for elderly.
Really?
Whereas other states like Florida and Texas and Arizona do not have very good care for elderly. So
I did not know that.
that's what it said
Interesting.
anyway. Because
Yeah.
and their family's still here, so they're coming back for their last years here. And a lot of assisted living, tons of assisted living going up. You see a lot of that, but.
Yeah.
Talk with John when we get back about rentals. I have a question for John. Thanks, Ed. We'll be back. Stay tuned. Happy birthday, Don.
Thank you.